In this video, we learn how to trade breakouts and reversals and continuation trades. And let's start with one of my favorite patterns. This is what you can call a reversal pattern. It's a deep breakout, a liquidity run, a stop run. You don't need to give it a fancy name. You need to study the mechanics. So what we see is that the market was in an uptrend. The uptrend found here a top. A double top with a failed breakout, right? So we can call this a failed breakout. And then what you want to do is you want to look for entry opportunities to the downside. Sometimes this is a little bit hard because you have a few levels and then most traders are not sure which level to take and where should they get into a breakout. So do you take this one here? Do you take this one? Both are possible, but there's a lot of subjectivity. What I've liked to do and what I've learned over the last, maybe let's say 7 to 8 years, is that I'm not trading pure breakouts anymore. I used to do that, but I've switched and transitioned towards a pullback approach, stop run approach. So you draw in your breakout level. Let's go with this one. This is a level that a lot of traders will work with. And then I will ask myself, if you go short here on the breakout, where will your stop loss be? And a lot of traders will probably have trades that look something like this with their entry after the breakout candle. Then maybe they're targeting here this demand pocket and their stop loss will be here, right? So sounds familiar, looks familiar. This is probably how a lot of breakout traders will approach their trades. So I want to mark this stop zone here. So this is where I expect a lot of the stops to be. So this is my stop zone. And what I'm doing now is I'm not getting into a trade. I'm not chasing the market as it goes down here. And even if this is a valid signal, maybe you missed this in the first place, very often you will get re-entry opportunities. So let's see and let's wait to see if the market can go into this stop zone again. It does. It pushes into this zone. And now is the most critical part. There is still a very high chance that the market will just break higher and just move here back into the pattern. That happens quite often. So you want to very carefully observe how is the price reacting now to this stop zone. We want to see first deceleration, which means the market is slowing down. We can see that with some inside candles. Just candles are getting smaller. You can see that from those large bullish candles. We are now here into a deceleration pattern. Let me move this out of the way. We now know that the price is in a stop zone. And the most important part is that we want to see that the sellers are coming back to the market. Sellers coming back to the market is represented by large candles, obviously, right? So we want to see large bearish candles here. And sometimes if it's a large enough candle, only one bearish candle is enough. So let's wait to see, can the market move lower? This will then confirm that the bears have taken over in this stop zone or not. And now what we see is we have another inside candle, more deceleration, good. We have a spike that gets rejected, another really interesting signal here because it shows that the market did try to break higher, but the sellers came in and pushed the price down. Still no entry signal for us, and this is the entry signal. It's a really large candle, but this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see that the market is actively pushing into the direction away from the stop zone, into the direction of this first breakout. And this is really then the entry signal. So now you have a few options. Either you can get in on the trade right away. Target-wise, we look left here, and then we can see here is a little bit of a demand pocket that we could target. Let's say we go here for this demand pocket. Stop-wise, you don't necessarily have to put your stop loss all the way above the candle. We don't expect the market to make another stop run because it just has completed a stop run. So often you can get away with a tighter stop loss. This takes some practice and just some experience. You can play around with it. Of course, the higher your stop loss, the lower reward to risk ratio, but often you will not be taken out if the market pushes here against your trade again. So you have a lot of options here regarding stop placement. Just play around with it. You also, of course, have a lot of options with target placement. Do you go for the first pocket? Do you extend your target? Or do you maybe even use a trailing stop loss approach? But here, this gives us a very solid outlook. Let's say we go for a 2-to-1 reward risk ratio. With a 2-to-1 reward risk ratio, we only need a win rate of 33% to break even. 40% win rate, we already make money. So this should be quite doable with this approach. And then we fast forward. Market is moving back and forth and then ultimately spiking into our target, even overshooting the target. So you can see this is a very, very interesting trading strategy that I have really come to enjoy over the last few years. I have just noted that breakouts are not as common anymore, and those retests really increased in frequency. And you, after a breakout trade, you very often get those deep retests. So it's a really interesting pattern that I would highly recommend to study in your trading. The biggest problem that reversal traders have is that when you're so locked into a reversal mindset, suddenly every sideways period can feel like the market is ready to reverse. So we're looking at here an uptrend that then turned into a sideways period. And a lot of traders will often prematurely go short and then hope they will catch a new downtrend early on, hoping for a big winner. But of course, not all sideways phases will turn into a reversal. I would say most sideways phases result either in more sideways or a continuation into an existing trend. So it's really important that you are able to distinguish between reversal and continuations. So when we are analyzing here this market, we can see we have here a resistance. We look here at the lows, higher lows, here another higher low, and then the market broke here this level. Is this a breakout? It is a breakout, but it's not a stop run as we've learned in the beginning. So let's assume we go short, not we go short, but let's assume the general trader goes short here. Where's going to be their stop loss? Their stop loss is going to be probably somewhere here, right? So this is our stop zone. And the market hits the stop zone here, and then has just small candles and never a big candle like what we've seen in the previous example. And this is really the key to trading stop runs. Very often you will get such a breakout move, but the market never makes a significant red candle. You could also apply this very simple filter to your stop runs and only trade stop runs if they break into a previous low, generating a lower low if the market breaks into this area here. So it's a very easy but very effective filter that will help you avoid those trades that will go nowhere. So the market is now still here in this range, and this is what I would call a failed reversal, right? So we have a failed reversal. The reversal was attempted here, but it looks like it is now going sideways here at least. So failed reversal. You will also often see that with failed head and shoulders patterns. They are actually a very, very interesting pattern when you have here a trend that goes over into a head and shoulders pattern. And very often traders will draw the neckline. They will jump on here the breakout of the neckline, but then the market resumes back into the pattern, not have a stop run, go sideways and then trade higher. This is, if you Google a little bit, this is what you then find under a failed head and shoulders pattern. It's also something that I explain in my course, where the link is in the video description with a special offer at the moment. So it's really important that you understand the distinction and the difference between an actual breakout that turns into reversal and a failed breakout. So looking at this now, what we can see is that the market is making higher lows here, right? We have the resistance here at the top. And just let's observe what happens after this failed breakout. We fast forward a little bit. You can see still always making higher lows. We have never broken this sequence. Even when we draw it like this, it's even clearer. We get this very accurate trend line that now describes here the higher lows. We have our breakout. The market is pushing a little bit higher here. Not running away yet. That's good. We are getting our first retest. Do we see a little bit bullish momentum? No. I will explain to you in a moment what a good retest looks like and what a bad retest is, or a retest that is not good enough. So we have a second retest. Just wait. We have our first green candle here, then our second green candle. So now let's take a look at this. We have our first retest here, second retest here, and the market now with this latest candle, it's not super strong. We could make a case for waiting another candle, but we're breaking into new highs here. This is the first time with this recent green candle that we're closing above those previous closes here. So you could already go long here, right? And for stop placement, do you want to place your stop loss here underneath the breakout level? I would not recommend it because there's still the possibility of a stop run, right? So the market could still give you a stop run where we pick up here the stop pocket from breakout traders like us and then resumes to the upside. However, one thing that I've seen also is that stop runs are less likely in trend continuation markets. Trend reversal markets behave very differently. On trend reversals, stop runs are way more common because volatility is just way more common around reversals, and continuations typically are not as volatile. So you might get away with having a tighter stop loss. I would still not put it right at the breakout level. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that we're going with the trend. And that means that typically on a trend following trade, we can go with a little bit of a wider target than typically on reversal trades. Reversals often don't last as long. So we could get away with having a stop loss maybe here. So we're not being able to take it out by small stop runs. If there's a big stop run, we might get taken out, but then we might get a second entry chance. But on the other hand, if the market resumes to the downside, this is, I think, a very good level to be out. If the market makes a run here back to this price level, there's nothing wrong with being out here because it doesn't look super bullish anymore. Target-wise, you have a few options. We could use a fib retracement, for example, where we just measure the AB move, obviously not this one, and then we can look for the price action. So this is the 261, this is the 161 Fibonacci level. So we could have a target up here. Another thing that you could do is use a moving average channel. I will show you this in a second. So we have two moving averages here, EMAs. Both are length 50. Here it's applied to source high, right? And the other one is source low, also 50. And this gives you this channel here that we see on our charts. And a moving average channel is a very, very good trend filter. Typically on a trending market, you will see that the market stays above the 50 tunnel. And when the market comes back into a tunnel, it often signals that the trend is slowing down, maybe even over. So let's fast forward. We can see our tunnel is here. I can move and zoom in here a little bit. The market is pushing higher. We haven't seen a stop run here, so the bulls are really in control. The tunnel is here. It's not a very super strong trending push here, which is why the tunnel is pretty close to current price action. Here we suddenly see that the market is accelerating. It still hasn't hit the 261 Fibonacci, but it does now. Out of curiosity, let's just fast forward to see when is the market hitting the moving average channel. Still hasn't hit it. We're coming close. And now we have hit the moving average channel. So if you're using a moving average channel, this would have been your trade. Still very good reward to risk ratio with a stop loss that is not very aggressive. So this gives your trade a lot of room to breathe. And this is then how you can trade breakouts versus continuations versus reversals.